Yeah, Coach, walk us through the challenge of replacing a game in such quick time frame. I know that y'all have taken on Florida A&M for Sunday. Walk us through that timeline.
Well, I mean, in a nutshell, this comes up yesterday morning, and we already had some ideas of potential replacements for the first couple of weeks, and so we really started in with that, and that becomes the most important thing. Is some were available, well, most weren't available, to be honest with you, but Florida A&M was the one that had the most opportunity to say yes, or the best opportunity to say yes. In the shortest period of time, with the shortest distance involved. And so that ended up being what worked out late last night. And then contract was signed today. And it's just all part of what every day becomes, was just, with this situation, and it'll really start to kick in even more tomorrow. It's a surreal experience all the way around. And you just have to be able to adjust. You have to be flexible. You have to plan ahead. I give John Bateman and Brian Fish a lot of credit on this and the work that they do to put it together. And in all likelihood, we'll have to do it again. But it's just all part of it right now.
Coach, what are some of the challenges of an opening game with 8 new players and the crazy off season that you had?
Well, the greatest challenge is that there's no exhibition or scrimmages, and I think that's. I know, speaking on behalf of how I feel in my stomach and everything there, that's the most apprehensive, because you don't have, the only people you've played against are yourselves, and you haven't played against, and you haven't played in front of anybody. And so to me, that is by far the hardest with a veteran team. And now you throw in 8 new players and it becomes that much more of a challenge, with 5 returners. But it's here, and we've got to do the very best we can. There's going to be a lot of figuring it out as we go. And I love our team, but I have no idea what to expect. I mean, I love working with them every day, but tomorrow it becomes different. And a lot of things change, once you start getting into the game. So we just got to make the adjustments and take it as it comes.
Okay, up next, we're going to go with Chip Towers and then Brandon Sedge.
Hey, Coach, unmute and starting the video there. Sorry. Yeah, it's interesting. I was feverishly writing down.
Chip,
I love
we can't hear
I have
you.
no idea what to expect. It's such a truthful quote there. But we just got a chance to talk to PJ Horn again, and you mentioned him several. I think in the other previous Zooms that we've had. Pretty unusual, isn't it, to have a first-year guy transferring in and really right out of the box, assuming a leadership role?
Well, it's important, and he's a winner. He's somebody that's won in the state of Georgia. He's done a lot, and for a guy that's 6'6", and have to have the matchups that he's had in the ACC, and at the same time really change his game, and the improvement level was outstanding. I mean, he went from making 1 3 as a sophomore to making 45 threes as a junior, and we're excited about him. I mean, we really are. We're very fortunate and excited to have him. And we're glad that he wanted to be here, especially with as close to home as it is, and him being a young man from Georgia. But he's going to have a huge role at starting on night 1.
Hey, Coach, so in terms of the bigger players on your roster, can you speak to their ball handling and how that might have an influence this year?
Well, I think Brandon, it's going to grow, right? Like PJ is somebody that really hasn't handled the ball a lot in the offenses that he's been in, but we think he's capable. Ty McMillan, those guys, Tumani Kamara has got to handle the ball much better for us this year. And the one area where we're struggling right now a little bit is when we play. Our movement is good when it's 4-0, when it's 5-0, when it's somewhat situational. But when we play, we're still trying to do more than what we should. We're not trusting the movement without the ball enough. The ball is not moving fast enough. We're not cutting as well as we should. And again, we're doing it against each other. But the bottom line is that's what's got to happen for our team, because if our guys can move well without the ball, no matter what position, if they can make decisions for one another, no matter what position, and if we can get ball handling from the majority of this team, to be able to get downhill and drive it and at the same time make passes, it's going to make a real difference for us. But it is ongoing. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, up next, we're going to go with Anthony Dasher and then Andy Walsh.
Hey, Coach, good to see you.
You too.
Just want to ask how healthy are you guys coming into the opener? And I heard that KD may have had some little injury kind of thing going on with him.
Well, right now we're getting ready to practice, and that's kind of where we're at, and let's kind of leave it at that. So as we go through the year, there's always going to be all kinds of things that are going to come up. You know, whether it's the scheduling, whether it's all the different. In a normal year, you're going to have a lot of discrepancies in your roster and who's available, who's not available, all those types of things. And this is anything but a normal year.
Hey, Coach. I guess with just Tennessee pausing activities and all the other things I guess have happened in sort of like 72-ish hours, since the last time we talked to you, has it made you more wary about just the state of the college basketball season in general, or are you sort of sitting at the same place where you were?
No, I don't think – I think you just have to take it as it comes, and that's a lot easier said than done. To me, it's much more that we haven't played against anybody, and it's the start. We haven't had that exhibition, that scrimmage to see how we do against other bodies, and everybody else is in the same boat. So – it is what it is. No question you get your attention when you've got 3 teams in the league that have had to shut down like that. And you see it constantly every day. It's 1, 2, 3 different teams that are dealing with this. But I think that's the way that it's going to be. And there is no anybody that says, well, this is the new normal. I don't think anybody could ever define what the new normal is. I mean, it's writing a script daily, right? As one of my coaches said, that the mantra for the team ought to just be a blank chalkboard every day, because you don't know what's coming next. He's not that far off. He's really not. You don't know what's going to happen, so you've got to be able to make the adjustments the best that you can.
Okay, for the final 2 questions, we're going to go with Mark Weiser and Seth Emerson.
Tom, what is it going to look like to play a basketball game this season in Stegman, like from 4 p.m. to 7:30 tomorrow? I mean, what's going to be different besides, what happens during those 40 minutes in terms of changes because of the protocols?
Well, it'll all be different. I mean, in the sense of the aesthetics of the arena, do you mean?
No, just have you moved your bench? Are you having any barriers up?
Oh, that part, absolutely. Yeah, we're on the other side of the court. We're directly diagonal from where we were a year ago. And that's going to all look different. The 22 chairs, it's going to look completely different. And we went through it. We've been in there, but we went through it today and had a little bit of a dry run when it came to the videos, the music, the decibel levels, the things like that, just to try to control what we can control. But it's going to be completely different. I mean, it's going to be absolutely completely different how your bench is laid out, where your team is. Every player on the team has got to have a chair. So even when they're in the game, they've got to have their chair. I mean, it goes 6 across, 6 behind that, another 6 behind that, 2 on the baseline, 2 right behind those 2 on the baseline for the 22, and then another 8 that are part of our tier, part of tier 1. They're on the other side of the basket, where and the pass would have been our visitors' basket. So it's going to look completely different, and we're just going to have to get used to it as time goes on. But I think the most important thing for us right now, and probably for everybody, no matter what's going on, no matter where it stands, all the things that are changing, the teams that are getting shut down, the games that are getting shut down, is that if you can play a game, play it. And let's do the best that we can. Nothing's going to change on the precautions. Nothing's going to change with the testing. Nothing's going to change on who's cleared to play and who's not cleared to play in that type of situation. So if at all possible to play games right now to start getting that experience again, then we have to do it, because the schedule's here and you want to get that experience for your team.
Tom, to that end, the conference season obviously is a necessity. The non-conference, how necessary do you think it is to play these games? Is there risk to the season? Does this feel like this is kind of a non-necessary extra this season to be playing?
No, I can't answer it that way, because I'm in it, right? Like we're in it, and there's, it's not like we have a vote, right? So the season has already shifted from a November 10th start to a November 25th start. So it really became, okay, if it's got to happen here at some point, and if it's going to happen. And the determination was made months ago that it's going to happen. And until they tell us differently, we're going to play, right? And we're going to plan every day to play. And then, like yesterday, be ready to have a contingency plan, once something changes like that. But I don't really have an opinion on it as much like that, because again, it's out of our control. All right. If something happens where we have to shut down or those type of things, then we'll deal with that as we go, I think. But the bottom line is, I'm trying to take the attitude as apprehensive as you are to start a season at any point in time, and especially when you've had no experience against anybody else, and especially in this time period, which is so different, is okay. If we're going to do it, let's play the games and let's see how we do and get some experience under our belt so we can start to see where it stands. Because in all honesty, you're not guaranteed, as we learned yesterday, you're not guaranteed the next game, right? I mean, at all. And so do the best that you can with what you have, learn from it, be prepared, be ready to adjust, and let's see how it plays out. That's the only thing I think, that's the only attitude we can take, I believe.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach.
All right. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.